The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got another absolutely outstanding show coming your way today. The guests that we have today been here a couple of times, and they always bring great information that's going to help all of us out. So I'm excited about the show today. I'm not going to give it away. That's Michelle's. She's going to introduce the title and the purpose of the show. But how you doing today, Michelle? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's chilly here in Texas. I think it's in the 40s. This weather is weird. A couple of days ago it was in the high 80s. Now it's in the 40s. It's strange. But other than that, I'm excited to have both of these guests returning on the show. And they're going to talk about this amazing nonprofit organization, which I will mention during my introduction. But this is a very important topic. So we're really appreciative that they took time out of their busy schedules to come back on the show.
I'm excited to have them back as well. And it is kind of cold in California as well. It's raining a little bit here, but that's okay. You guys can keep the cold there, but I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be warmed up. Hey, Michelle, can you please introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce these two absolutely fantastic guests?
Most definitely. So the title of today's show is Addressing America's Older Adult Homelessness Challenge. So we're having a sit-down conversation with Paul Downey. He's the CEO of Serving Seniors, and Melinda Forstey. She is the CEO-Designate of Serving Seniors. They're going to discuss the fastest growing homelessness about adults aged 55 and older, increasing the availability of affordable housing for older adults. They're going to discuss the Judith L. Seltz Senior Wellness Center and the Paul Downey Senior Residence. So again, Paul Downey is the CEO of Serving Seniors, where he's responsible for the oversight and overall management of all programs, services, housing operations, human resources, and IT. Over the past 30 years at Serving Seniors, Paul and the organization have expanded key programs and services for low-income and homeless older adults. Melinda Forstey, she is the CEO-Designate of Serving Seniors and will assume the role of CEO in May, based on retirement of Mr. Paul Downey. Currently, she is responsible for the oversight and overall management of all programs, services, housing operations, and human resources. Over the past 13 years at Serving Seniors, she has spearheaded multiple affordable housing projects throughout San Diego County, as well as the expansion of Serving Seniors nutrition program, which grew from 650,000 meals to over 1.4 million in the last 3 years. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Paul Downey, Ms. Melinda Forstey.
Hey, welcome back. It's been a while. So welcome back.
Well, thank you. That was quite a welcome. We will be back more often. Welcome.
Hey, Paul, you guys are doing so many great things, and just over the years that I have known you guys continue to grow. You guys continue to add new things to help our seniors and serving seniors. So, Paul, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about Serving Seniors, how you got started with this? Where did the idea come from?
Sure. Well, the organization is actually 55 years old. We started in 1970. And our mission is to help seniors in poverty live healthy and fulfilling lives. So really everything that we do is oriented around health, doing what we can so that people can live independently, which is what they want to do, and to, stay out of the hospital, stay out of skilled nursing facilities, and to enjoy their lives. But the overarching challenge that virtually all of the 12,000 or so folks a year that come through our doors is that they live in poverty. They're living on less than $1,200 a month. And rents in San Diego, California, and in fact, most of the country, take up 75, 80% of their income. And so most of the folks are living on $200 or $300 after they've paid their rent, which puts them perpetually on the edge of falling into homelessness and or not being able to access resources. So this is where Serving Seniors comes in, and we provide meals, we provide housing, we provide transitional services for seniors experiencing homelessness, activities. And so this robust array of services to provide that safety net that will keep them from falling through the cracks.
Wow. Melinda, you're getting ready to take over at the end of the year. And just like I said, I have seen you guys grow. Can you talk about some of the new things that you all are doing? I know we're going to get to a lot of these things, but some of the latest things that you guys are doing in Serving Seniors.
Yeah, sure. So we, as Paul noted, housing really is the number one issue for the seniors that we serve. And so we are continuing to expand our portfolio of housing sites. we're going to talk a little bit more about our newest project. But we now have, in total, it'll be over 700 units of housing for older adults. In addition to really focus on building housing, we have expanded our services for older adults experiencing homelessness. So a couple years ago, we launched what's called our Seniors Landing Bridge Shelter, which is a non-congregate shelter for older adults. And essentially that means that each individual in that program actually gets their own room. It's a former motel and really allows us to provide those individualized services in a place of dignity and privacy for older adults. In addition to that, we are also looking at additional ways that we can expand our prevention and diversion efforts to keep seniors from falling into homelessness in the first place.
You mentioned homelessness. What is some of the major factors contributing to homelessness among 55 and older?
It's economic. I mean, the research that we've done, and we did a comprehensive needs assessment on the topic. The University of California, San Francisco released a study as well in late 2023 that showed about almost 90% of older adults in homelessness are there for an economic cause. And this really falls into three broad categories. The first is loss of a job. Somebody in their late 50s, early 60s loses a job and either can't find another one or can't find a one that at the same wage that they were at before. Second reason is a spouse gets sick and the life savings goes taking care of the person who's sick. Quite often that person unfortunately will pass away, leaving the survivor, now having no savings and relying on Social Security, and if they're lucky, maybe a small pension to survive. And the third is that people on a fixed income, rents just continue to go up. San Diego now, the median for a studio apartment is about $2,000 a month. One bedroom is about $2,400. A two bedroom is about $3,200. Our average senior makes $1,200 or less. So the math just doesn't work. And so people dip into the savings. Most of the people we see who are experiencing homelessness, that you would say they did it right. They did what they were supposed to. They worked hard all their lives. They saved money for retirement. They hope to have, their golden years. And then something bad happened economically and they go through the life savings, and then we see them end up living in their cars. Then they'll lose the cars. They end up on the street. And that's just, not the way in America we should be treating our older adults, really, or anybody for that matter, but particularly older adults who, have been good people and contributed to the community all their lives until that triggering event occurred.
And you're absolutely right. And so some of the things that you all are doing, especially, Melinda, you had mentioned something about the 700 units house. Can you talk a little bit more about that? We got about a minute and a half before the break.
Yeah, so we are really excited to share. We just had our grand opening for our newest site, and that is the Paul Downey Senior Residence. So this particular site is in the Claremont neighborhood in the city of San Diego. And phase one will provide 79 units of housing for low-income older adults. And I would be remiss to not note the name of this site. So as you picked up, it is named after Paul. And really, this idea came from our board of directors. Paul has been with the organization for 30 years. And we really wanted a way to honor the impact and legacy that Paul has had, not just on the older adults, but the entire community. So it was a record-breaking campaign. We've never raised that much money that quickly. So we cut the ribbon 2 weeks ago, and we're starting to move seniors into this site. So really just a joyous occasion.
Wow. I that is joyous. We're going to take a station break, but I'm going to come back. I want to talk about this a little bit more. I want to see how Paul feels about a building being named after him. And so that's so important. So I'll tell you, whichever platform that you're watching us on. If you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is go to the comments, ask any questions that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Let's go. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. Come on.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm up here enjoying this conversation with both Paul and Melinda. And they are doing so many great things in the San Diego area. And just like I mentioned last time, Paul, when you was on the show, the programs that you all are doing in San Diego need to be modeled by all 50 states. You know, it needs to be modeled by all 50 states because you guys are doing some tremendous things. And I know that the seniors that you all are serving are quite happy. And so thankful and joyful for what all that you all are doing for them. You know, so Paul, my main man, it's an honor to have something named after you, and I know it's well deserving because you done put all of that time, effort in building this, building the program. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, first of all, I tell everybody that if I knew they were going to raise so much money with my retirement, I'd retire more often to do it. But it was an incredible honor. I was bowled over. As Melinda said, they kept the whole thing secret from me for about 4 months. Raised all of this money. Literally everybody in the organization but me knew what was happening. And when they told me, I was just, as they say, humbled and honored that they would do it. But you know, I also recognize that it literally takes a village. I mean, it's the team, and I'm thrilled to be the person whose name's on the building. But I know that there's just I've been surrounded by incredible folks, Melinda being one of them, that have made all of our accomplishments possible. So a combination of honor, but also making sure that remember all of the other folks too, because it's we have a great team, and without that team, we would not be successful.
You're absolutely right. I mean, it requires a team. It requires everybody working together. With that being said, how can collaboration between nonprofits, local government, and private organizations help expand affordable housing options for older adults in need? That's you, Melinda.
Yes. So our last project that we completed a couple years ago, that was through a partnership with a local philanthropist who owned land in San Diego and generously donated essentially an entire city block to this project. And through that generosity, and then working with the city, the county, securing funding from the state level, we were able to build really the first of its kind intergenerational housing complex. And so this has a building which has units for seniors. Then there's actually another separate building for families on this one city block. And really, there is just full integration between the two populations. So serving seniors offers services for older adults. They offer services for the families, for the children, and really encouraging that community to come together, whether it's, with our gardening club or offering exercise classes, or seeing how we can partner in other ways, right? Having maybe one-on-one training in the computer lab or assisting with tutoring. So that is an incredible example of how we've really been able to partner both with philanthropists and local government to really make these projects come to life.
Have you guys made a pitch toward the federal government and gaining support from that other than the state and local?
Yes, I mean the federal government plays a very important role, particularly in housing, because one of the primary mechanisms that we use to build housing are tax credits. They're federal tax credits. And so in the simple way, we as a nonprofit receive tax credits. Of course, we don't pay taxes, so we sell those credits to folks that can use them, and that generates the capital to build the buildings. And so the more tax credits that the federal government makes available, the better in terms of developing affordable housing, because the challenge in most communities across this country is the lack of affordable housing. Seniors particularly end up paying way too large a percentage of their income on rent, and that puts them, as we mentioned earlier, in danger of becoming homeless. But it also means that they're not accessing their health care. They're not able to enjoy life if they're spending all of their money on rent. So, and that's the lack of affordable housing is also the direct cause of homelessness. Most people, and I've been serving seniors for 30 years, but I've been involved with the homelessness issue for more than 40. And the number of people who don't want help is very small. Most people do not want to be where they're at, but they can't afford housing. They can't afford to get off the street into an affordable place. So as a community, it makes sense for us to build affordable housing to get them off the street, but it also helps reduce costs because there is a cost to somebody being on the street of about $50,000 a year. And that comes from the National Alliance to End Homelessness. That's when you figure in police, fire, paramedics, hospitals, long-term care, et cetera. So it is actually the right thing economically to get folks off the street. And of course, from a human perspective, it's the right thing to do. So from the federal government needs to take the lead, states need to jump in, local governments, philanthropy, all need to come together to do the right thing and have the benefit of it being the cost-effective thing as well.
Wow. So I know, Melinda, you had mentioned something about you guys just opened up 79 different units. How do you guys go about selecting the building, the model, the areas for building and in support of the seniors?
Yeah, through a combination of strategies. So for this particular site, it was a county site. It was the old crime lab. It had been shut down for many, many years. And so the county of San Diego had released an RFP. Back in 2017, we were actually awarded the project in 2018. So that gives you some idea of how long it takes for these projects to come to completion. So essentially, it's really working with the local governments. Both the city and the county have made concerted efforts to identify land that they own but aren't using. So then they will release them for an RFP. And as I mentioned earlier as well, there are opportunities with local philanthropists who may own land and have a vision to expand the affordable housing that's available in our community.
So are there any policies or procedures that could help prevent our older folks from falling into the homelessness category? So is any government regulations that the city of San Diego or the state is pushing to help prevent this?
Yes, I mean, and you hit it. Your last word is prevention, and that's something that in this whole discussion about the homelessness issue that has really not been at the forefront. But investing in prevention, saves the human trauma of somebody being on the street. And again, we go back to it being the cost-effective way to approach it. So we've been a catalyst on a couple of different things. First is what we call a shallow rental subsidy. So we have both the city of San Diego, the county of San Diego are doing rental subsidies. So it's about a $500 a month subsidy paid directly to landlords to reduce the rent. Because the arithmetic I was talking about before, someone making $1,200, maybe paying $900 to $1,000 for a housing unit, the $500 can make the difference between remaining housed and unhoused. So we've seen great success in preventing people from being evicted by making that investment. So a $6,000 investment versus a $50,000 cost of somebody being on the street. The other piece of the prevention is a one-time payment. So to get somebody out of the hole. So in the statistics that we've gathered on the rental subsidy program, we found that the average participant was about $1,300 in arrears on their rent, which meant they were in imminent danger of being evicted. So if you did a one-time payment of $1,300 or whatever they were in arrears and just got them out of the hole, that can help keep them in place. So we're pushing to expand this because it's a common sense solution that will ultimately save dollars, save lives, and save the trauma on individuals.
Wow, that's you hit it on the nose. Prevention, and if everybody came together to work together and understood that, it'd be a better place. First of all, I think just a little thoughts. A lot of times when we start getting older, people forget about us, and they expect us to have already set aside enough money. Boom, 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 boom. But just like you had mentioned earlier, Paul, sometimes situations or circumstances kind of throw us back a little bit where it's kind of hard to regroup. And having an organization, nonprofit like what you all are doing, you're giving people hope, you're extending opportunities, and, just bringing joy to everyone. We're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back and we're going to pick it right back up because this is such an important topic. And if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching this on, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023. Unified Brain Z and the other organizations, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
I've seen a smile convey I love you. I'm proud of who you are, and one that keeps us close when we're apart. Talking from the darkness of all that we've been through, it seems that there might be a way to leave behind the loneliness we've known and live again life of
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And what we're talking about here is serving seniors. And we got Paul Downey and we got Melinda here that's been doing absolutely wonderful things in the San Diego community. And making sure that our seniors are taken care and are not forgotten about. So I tell you, if they're going to tell you how you can support this great cause, probably during the next segment, but I encourage everyone to reach out and support their organization as much as you can to help save lives and help encourage lives. So. Hey, Paul or Melinda, how do you all go about selecting? I know the process probably tough, selecting the folks that's going to be moving into the units that you all are opening right now, because I know it's probably a lot of folks out there.
Well, we start with their income. So we're targeting people who are very low income. So that's the first requirement is a low income. And then they go through an application process. The good news is there are 79 people who are moving into the new building. The bad news is that we capped the applications at 500. And if we hadn't, it would have been into the thousands. So the demand for the housing is great with all of those folks, more than likely qualifying for being able to move into the housing. So the challenge is just not enough available units. So it's basically income. They go through an interview process, and that's really it. I mean, we have our team, and actually Melinda heads up that team, and you should talk maybe a little bit about what we do from the case management and providing the services, because that's a really important thing, because once we get them in, we don't want them to fail.
Yes, across all of our sites, we do provide wraparound services. So we have a team of case managers that help connect our seniors with, and then maybe signing them up for Medicare, connecting them to things like Medicaid, helping them with transportation. We also have health educators. So a lot of times when someone sees a doctor, it may be really confusing. What do these medical orders mean and how do I take my medications? So our team members are there really hand in hand to walk them through that process. In addition to that team, we do provide meals across all sites. And this may be a combination of having a dining room right on site or access to our home delivered meals. And lastly, we really look at our seniors holistically. So we offer lots of volunteer opportunities, different activities. And then if there's any services that we're not able to offer, we'll actually bring collaborative partners on site to address those needs.
Wow, that's incredible. That you all are doing this. You had mentioned earlier, Melinda, about some of the new things that you all are doing that you want to talk about. So let's do it.
Great. Yeah. So in addition to the newest housing, the Paul Downey Senior Residence, we also have opened the Judith L. Seltz Senior Wellness Center. And so that is on the same site as the Paul Downey Senior Residence. And this is going to be a full service senior center for individuals throughout the Claremont community. So again, providing those wraparound services with our case management team, nutrition, lots of activities, volunteer opportunities, and again, bringing those collaborative partners on site. And I'd like to add, this is part of a larger complex, which will have actually over 400 units of housing. So this will also have family housing. There'll be some units for adults with developmental disabilities. And then come March of 2026, we'll be opening up our second senior housing site, which will add an additional 95 units specifically for older adults with low incomes.
So how many different locations are you all in right now?
Yeah, across the county between our housing sites and then all of our meal sites, we are at 16 now. So we go, the geography of San Diego, we go as far north, so right to the top of the county in Oceanside, as far south as Imperial Beach, which is right by the border. And then we also have a strong presence in East County with sites in Ramona, and then also providing meals to those communities.
Wow. What responses have you gotten from the public regarding the building of these different sites? What have the responses you gotten from the neighborhood? And let's just say.
Well, it's initially sometimes it's difficult to be completely honest about it. People, I think, have a fear of affordable housing, but I think once we get there and we meet with them, we talk about what we're doing, we talk about why we're doing it, and then when they see the quality of the buildings, I mean, if you look at all of our buildings, and frankly, most affordable housing that's out there, it looks like any other apartment or condo. I mean, it doesn't, you don't say, oh, it isn't, the tenement mentality of, say, in New York, back 100 years ago. It's not that. And so, but I think that's what people are fearful of. So initially there's usually some resistance, but as we talk to people, and then once we are open, the neighborhoods tend to embrace. We do things to encourage the neighborhood to come in and our residents to get out into the community and to volunteer and be part of it. And Melinda was talking about the project in Claremont with the family units and the seniors. We have another project that has the same thing, and we are embracing this concept of intergenerational, that where you have senior and family housing on the same site. And in fact, Serving Seniors is going to be doing all of the services in both of those sites where we're going to work with the families, we're working with the seniors. And the idea is to get people out of their units and whether it's a barbecue, whether it's a community garden, whether it's an exercise class or a walking group, that just like a real neighborhood, in a real neighborhood, you have younger folks, you have older folks. I mean, you have people of different races. I mean, it's in, and sometimes with affordable housing, you have a building that's okay, it's all seniors over there, you have families over there, veterans over there, and that's not real life. We want to have real life where people can experience and the joy of interacting with other folks. And so that's really what these are about, because at the core of what we do is to promote socialization, because most seniors, or many of the seniors that we serve, live by themselves and they're isolated. And so that isolation can breed health issues as well as some mental health issues like depression. And so getting them engaged in the community, that's the benefit of the senior centers that we operate, is getting people out and talking and seeing friends and participating in activities. Those things are critically important to people's overall health.
Yeah, and just to add to what Paul was saying, I know I'd mentioned volunteer opportunities. And if you walk into one of our sites, you will see our seniors working hand in hand with our employees. I mean, they're helping to serve meals. They're helping to organize events. We have a group of seniors that's called our civic engagement group. And they are really the eyes and ears of the community and identifying, okay, what are the issues that our seniors are facing? And really, they'll go out and they'll do community outreach. They'll come back and share with our case managers what they're seeing, and really providing that, not just that insider knowledge and perspective, but really that empathy, and really it's helping to uplift the voice of the older adults themselves that we're serving, and really making them a partner as we continue to look at what are the needs we need to focus on, and ensuring that their voices are heard, not just within the serving seniors community, but across the board in the greater community.
Wow. Did you ever picture yourself being involved in such just an important, I wouldn't say topic, but I would say a movement or philanthropic mission to help others out there?
Well, I'm happy to jump in here. And so my very first job when I was 14, I was a waitress in a retirement home. So I was literally serving seniors back when I was 14. And that's really when I just had such a strong connection to this population. And then since then, my background was working in mental health back in Massachusetts, had worked with the unhoused population. And when I moved to San Diego back in 2009, I learned of serving seniors and all the incredible work that Paul and the team were doing. And it really just checked all the boxes of my passion. So it really has been just such a perfect fit, and also a place where I continue to learn each day from our staff, but in particular from the seniors that we're serving.
Well, and I took a little bit different path. I mean, my background, I started actually as a journalist in working in radio, and then ended up in the political world, working for the mayor of San Diego. And our office would go over every month and serve lunch at serving seniors. And I tell folks, the first time the mayor came in and said, we're all going to go over and volunteer. And I think I was all of 26 years old. And the thought of going and doing it didn't grab me as something that I really wanted to do. But I like to tell everybody I was smart enough not to say the words out loud to anybody. And I went. And within 5 minutes of being there, I did a 180, because I started talking to people, and it gave me an insight. Because I grew up in a middle-class family. I went to college, so I studied poverty, I studied challenges, but I had honestly never encountered folks who were struggling. And so suddenly I'm talking to folks and understanding, or get a much better understanding of what they were going through and what poverty, what it was like to live with essentially no money. And it was eye-opening. I mean, it was the 2x4 over the head for me. And so I went from being, the reluctant volunteer to organizing us every month to go for the duration of the mayor's 2 terms in office. And I developed the same passion that Melinda was talking about for the mission, never dreaming that I would work there. When the mayor's term ended, I went on and did some work as an executive for job training. And a couple of years after that, the opportunity at Serving Seniors came about in 1995, and I wasted no time applying, and and have enjoyed it, and enjoyed the challenge, and enjoyed being a voice for seniors in poverty for the last 30 years.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back. We're going to pick it up from there. 2 extremely interesting stories that you all just shared with us. I'll tell you what, if you want to be part of the conversation, it's not too late. Just go to the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Dr. JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, just thoroughly enjoying this conversation, especially toward the end when Melinda and Paul were telling us how they became the passion that they have for serving seniors. Those are remarkable stories, and Paul, you said you went there, and 20 years later, 1995. You took over that. That's have to be a tremendous blessing, and for all the things that you all have done up to this point and continue to do. So
well, thank you. I mean, it has been. I mean, I by the time I stepped into the CEO role, I really had that passion, and I saw that how seniors were ignored. I mean, and it was not a front burner issue for anybody what was happening. And we had seniors experiencing homelessness even in 1995 and the struggles. And that's something that, I've continued to work on. And frankly, ageism, is a real issue in this country, and it's something Melinda will have to carry on the fight. I think we've made progress, but this whole notion of sort of discriminating against folks because of their age, and it's mostly towards older folks, is real. And a lot of folks don't realize people who would be horrified if they were perceived to be sexist or racist are ageist and don't even think about it. And so when we talk about older adults, I mean, that is a passion that I will continue into retirement, advocating that awareness. I mean, you look at television shows and you see older adults are depicted, as crotchety, can't hear, unfiltered. And that's not who older adults really are, but that's how the media perception. People sometimes assume because somebody has a hearing aid or uses a walker or cane or a wheelchair, that somehow they must have dementia too, that they can't think. And the fact is, that less than 10% of older adults have any sort of dementia. Most folks don't, but it's something we need to focus on as a society, that we need to treat older adults with respect. And in some cases, we also, sometimes older adults don't always treat younger generations with the respect. So it can work both ways. But I think it's an issue that has started when I learned back in 1995. We've made strides, but we're nowhere near where we need to be in 2025 on that issue.
I agree with you. I believe sometimes when people around older adults, the elderly, sometimes maybe they're not thinking of them as a person. They're thinking of them as the stereotype. And the only thing that's changing in older adults is just the physical appearance. Sometimes, cognitive, which is understandable, but they can carry on a smart, wisdom-filled conversation just like the next person, and they are filled with wisdom. And I feel that, unless you're exposed to older adults and around them, whether it's your family or just volunteer work, you'll see they are bright and, they're just not to be ignored. How would you like it if someone treated your parent or grandparent the way other older adults are treated, whether they're homeless or just in general? So definitely ageism is a ongoing issue. Melinda, can you comment on that as well?
Yes, and many of our clients share that even when they're walking down the streets, people won't look at them. They don't acknowledge them. If they're in a store going grocery shopping, I mean, people just go right around them. And they really often don't feel like their voices are being heard. But to your point, they are the ones that have built our communities, that have paved the way for where we are today. And every single day when I walk through the doors of any of our sites, when I speak with our seniors, I am learning more and more from their wisdom, from their life experiences, and from their empathy as well. One thing that our civic engagement group does each year is they actually organize a drive for other seniors experiencing homelessness. And some of the individuals who are organizing this drive are experiencing homelessness themselves. So they want to continue to help others, even despite living in poverty or struggling to find a home. They want to contribute and give back and have that purpose. And we see each day just how much talent and treasure all of our clients have.
Wow. Gail is asking a question, not really a question. She said, what is the contact information if people want to volunteer or support you? And I think that's so important.
Well, we rely on the community's support. We are a charitable organization, and so people who make donations of cash, are critically important to us. And so, folks who would like to make a cash, donation, they can go to our website, servingseniors.org. They can do it electronically. If they want to mail something to us, they can send it to 525 14th Street, Suite 200, San Diego, 92101, or they can call phone number 619-235-6572. And the same, those all hold true for people who want to volunteer. I mean, we have upwards of 1,000 volunteers. I mean, I mentioned I started as maybe a reluctant volunteer, but I was a volunteer. And we rely on those volunteers to come and socialize. And so sometimes people are not able to make a cash donation, but they can give of their time. And that is equally of value to come in, and whether it's help serve lunch, whether it's to organize, a group, that is going to do a holiday. I mean, we have a Veterans Day and Valentine's Day and Memorial Day, and we have groups that come in and organize events for us. And sometimes I tell people, just go into the game room and play a game of checkers with somebody and talk to them. That is really what is so important, is just that human interaction.
Wow. We're out of time, but this has been so fun and so informative. And always, you guys are always welcome to come back, especially when we're talking serving seniors. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to come on the show and share this valuable information with our viewers and our listeners. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another outstanding show. You got something you want to say?
Yes. Linda, congratulations, CEO to be. And Paul, congratulations on your new venture. We are so very proud of both of you and what you continue to do.
Thank you very much. We appreciate being guests on your show once again.
Oh, thank you. So thanks, Dr. Cooley, for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. Most importantly, thank our viewers and listeners for tuning in to the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and also on Sundays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on KCBQ The Answer in San Diego, and AM 660 The Answer K-Sky at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time in Dallas. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.